The Supreme Court has restored the managerial rights to the Padmanabhaswamy temple in Kerala to the royals of Travancore. So, what is this case all about? Who had the ownership of the temple before 1991 and why is the year 1991 significant? What about the treasures that are in the vaults of the temple? Let's see the answers to all these questions in this episode. The Supreme Court has told that the financial affairs of the temple will now survive with the Kerala Royals. So this ruling has given the Kerala Royals the ultimate control over one of the richest temple in the world. So what was this case all about? Sri Padmanabhaswamy temple is considered the principal deity of the royal family of Travancore. They were also the greatest devotees of the Lord. The origin of this is traced back to the reign of Maharaja Martanda Varma, who took a decision regarding their devotion that changed the lives of the members of the royal family. According to the ancient scriptures, it was believed that the deity is 5,000 years old and the temple was built in the 16th century by the kings who ruled over the kingdom of Travancore. However, there is no concrete evidence for this, but the royal family has been looking after the temple for generations. After the family patriarch died in the year 1991, the Kerala state government tried to take over the Sri Padmanabhaswamy temple, but the brother of the deceased claimed rights over the temple. The central legal question was whether Martanda Varma, the younger brother of Balarama Varma, who was the last ruler of Travancore, could claim to be the ruler of Travancore after the death of the ruler in 1991. The court examined this claim according to the Travancore Cochin Hindu Religious Institutions Act 1950 to claim ownership, control and management of the ancient Sri Padmanabhaswamy temple. All the temples which were under the control and management of the princely states of Travancore and Cochin were under the control of the Travancore and Cochin Devaswam boards before 1947. However, as per the instrument of accession, which was signed between the princely states and Government of India since 1949, the administration of the Padmanabhaswamy temple was vested in trust in the ruler of Travancore. The state of Kerala was formed in 1956, but the temple continued to be managed by the former royals. In 1971, privy purses to the former royals were abolished through a constitutional amendment stripping their entitlements and privileges. A privy purse is a payment made to the former ruling families of the princely states as a part of their agreement to annex their territories to the Indian subcontinent in 1947. So, this was abolished and the move was upheld in court in 1993, and the last ruler of Travancore, who died during the pendency of this case, continued to manage the affairs of the temple till then. In 1991, when the last ruler's brother took over the temple management, it angered the devotees and they moved to the courts, which led to a long-drawn legal battle. The government supported the claims of the petitioner that Martanda Varma had no legal right to claim the control or management of the temple. And that legal battle came to an end when the Supreme Court said that after taking various parameters into account, such as historical accounts, customary beliefs, deep involvement of ruling family and their connection with the temple and Sri Padmanabhaswamy, made it believed that rulers of Travancore were in the capacity as managers of the temple. So, does this mean that the Kerala royals are the owners of this temple? The answer is no. The temple was always recognized as a public institution governed by a written law. The argument of the royal family was that the temple management would be with them forever as per custom. Even though the last ruler Balarama Varma executed a detailed will passing on his personal properties, he did not include the temple as his personal property or dealt with it in his will. So this temple is not the property of the Kerala royals. Now we have come to the most interesting portion of this episode. What about the property belonging to Sri Padmanabhaswamy temple and what about the treasures that are in the temple's vault? Padmanabhaswamy temple is one of the richest shrines in the world and it has 6 underground vaults called Vault A, Vault B, Vault C, Vault D, Vault E and Vault F. These vaults are also called chambers, which are full of royal treasure worth in billions. So far, 5 out of the 6 vaults which stores Padmanabha Swami temple treasure have been opened by June 27, 2011, except for Vault B. The members of the royal family claim that there are some curses associated with the opening of Vault B, and so it was not opened along with the others. Before that, 2 of those vaults were opened 130 years ago. The temple's underground treasure is a collection of valuable objects including gold thrones, crowns, coins, statues, ornaments, diamonds and other precious stones. Vaults A and B consist exotic gold treasure. C and D consist gold and silver jewelry, while E and F have utensils used for temple rituals. The Vault A was opened in June 2011 in the presence of a panel and observers which included High Court judges, temple officials, archaeology authorities and a representative of the current Maharaja, and found that it was containing treasures worth 1 lakh crore rupees. It had a 3.5 feet tall pure golden idol of Mahavishnu studded with hundreds of diamonds, rubies and other precious stones, 18 feet long pure gold chain, a gold sheaf weighing 500 kg. Here sheaf means like a bundle of grain. Then there was a 36 kilogram golden veil, 1200 gold coin chains encrusted with precious stones, several sacks of golden artifacts, necklaces, diamonds, rubies, sapphires and emeralds. As I told earlier, Vault B has not been opened yet. It is expected that Vault B of temple is containing a large amount of treasures in terms of gold and other precious items like it had in Vault A. Padmanabha Swami temple treasure gained widespread attention as it has one of the largest collection of items of gold and precious stones in the recorded history of the world. What sort of impact will yesterday's ruling have over the temple and the Kerala royals? In 2007, Martanda Varma claimed that the riches, that is the treasures in the temple, belongs to the royal family of Kerala. This claim was followed by several lawsuits. A lower court in Kerala also passed an injunction against the opening of the vaults. Since 2011, the process of opening the vaults has led to the discovery of treasures within the Padmanabha Swami temple, prompting a debate on who owns the temple property and how it should be regulated. Despite being a secular country that separates religion from the affairs of the state, Hindu temples and its assets are governed through statutory laws and boards heavily controlled by the state governments. This system came into existence through the development of a legal framework to outlaw untouchability by treating temples as public land. This has resulted in many legal battles. The bench, however, refrained from giving orders to unlock the Vault B. The court added that a new committee set up by the Travancore family to run the temple would have the right to decide what to do with the temple's wealth, including the contents of the unopened vault. Senior Advocate Gopal Subramaniam and former Comptroller and Auditor General of India Vinod Rai are appointed as amicus curiae to prepare an inventory of items in the vaults. An amicus curiae is an impartial advisor to the court of law in any particular case. So this is the summary of the case history of the Kerala temple. I hope this episode was very informative. If you have any doubts on this topic, please do let us know in the comments and I will definitely try to clarify those. Stay connected with us for more such updates.